Santa Rosa Junior College, as an Hispanic serving institution, is committed to creating a community space where culture and language and art and academics and community all come together to create an environment for a learner, for a student to see themselves in the campus, in the curriculum, amongst the people that are working with them.
HSI is a federal designation that comes from the U.S. Department of Education, and colleges and college districts can apply to become a Hispanic serving institution once they gain at least 25% of their student population identifying as Latinx or Latino or Hispanic. Since 2014, when we gained the HSI designation, we've had the opportunity to secure 4 separate grant programs. The first one was the Metaphor Grant. We were able to establish the Mi Casa Latinx Student Center. After the Metaphor Grant, we received the Lanzamiento Initiative, and that's where we had this large nexus of HSI designated course sections. A few years later, we received the HSI STEM grant, which is our Avanzando initiative, and it has opportunities for exposure to STEM careers and transfer opportunities. And then this year, we've received our 4th grant, the Transformando initiative, and it has a focus on culturally responsive programming, especially ethnic studies. The common thread between all these grants, it's about highlighting the Latinx student experience and having a focus on the needs of the Latinx community to reach their educational goals in ways that really empower them and uplift them.
Students, when they see the curriculum and their culture merge together, they feel a sense of belonging, they feel connection, and they also feel like their academic and non-academic personalities, their intersecting personalities, are valued and respected.
I think it's important to acknowledge the population that Sonoma County is and where we're located demographically, because a large portion of our population here in Sonoma County is Latinx. I am a first-generation daughter of immigrants, and that's where my HSI comes in. I'm helping other people that look like me, that sound like me, that don't necessarily find representation elsewhere. I want them to see that in me.
Part of my job as the public services librarian is I manage the gallery here at Mahoney Library. My goal is always student focused. Whatever I show in there, how can I integrate that into curriculum and have it be important and meaningful for students? One of our foundational values is access to information. Everybody deserves access.
When I think about HSIs, it's about not just enrollment numbers, but how we serve our Latino community. That's why I'm so committed to this work. It's to ensure that every student is able to feel represented, is able to accomplish their goals, is able to feel like they belong. And it's a space where they can thrive so they can achieve whatever educational goal they may have.
When I moved to this country, I didn't speak English, and I was like helpless. So then I came to the JC. I knew about the programs, I started learning English, and I said, okay, one day I'm gonna be a teacher. The JC provided me all that opportunities. When I became a teacher, it really makes me feel proud. Having that knowledge that I went through the program, I can motivate my students, and I can tell them, look at it, if you work hard, if you look for the right services, everything is possible here.
It feels very heartwarming. It feels like I'm being seen, like I'm being heard. So when I moved to the JC with the celebrations of the HSI and actually acknowledging that we are one and seeing more cultural reference has made me feel in a way that I belong, because I see parts of my culture, parts of my history, parts of things that I only heard at home now being taken into academia. There's things that I didn't even know about my culture that I learned from seeing it on my campus. So I think it's really beautiful.
When I see that resemblance of my culture and just my people on campus, it always brings me back to like my family that's back in Mexico, and I'm given the opportunities that they weren't given and they don't have access to, and I value my education a whole lot more because I know that I'm not only working towards this degree for myself, but there's a whole generation of family behind me that's also supporting me and wanting me to succeed as well.
I think it helps students also feel like I have a future. I have something to look forward to. I'm working towards something. Coming here and getting that support and having someone to say, like, I believe in you, that makes a huge difference. That sense of belonging makes me feel brave in any room I walk in because I know I belong in it and I know I deserve it and I know I've worked really hard.
HSI just signals to the community that we recognize that our diversity, our cultural, our ethnic diversity is something that we should be proud of. The fact that I'm the first Latina president that this college has seen is 105 years is another component that I think just adds to the identity, and it makes it easier to see it, right? So then students can see themselves like, oh, I could be the president of this college one day. An HSI institution doesn't try to like break you down to mold you to be someone else. It says, okay, bring your knowledge and your community beliefs, right? You bring all of that. And so now the education is not just about, I'm gonna work hard at the expense of taking everyone else down. And it really says like, how do we work together so that we can uplift one another?